Hi, my name is Kate Myers. I'm animal writer for Yellow Scene magazine, and I am here at Luvin Arms Animal Sanctuary in Erie, Colorado. This is the place where I go when the world is just getting too much for me, because it is so peaceful and there is a sense of kindness and compassion here, which they call ahimsa. Shartrina White, can you tell us a little more about the origin and what that word means?
Ahimsa is a Sanskrit word, and it means nonviolence toward all living beings. The founders, actually, Shaolin and Shelpi Shah, are Jain Indians, and they believe in the philosophy nonviolence toward all living beings. It's a way of living for all beings. Nonviolence toward whomever should be the way that all beings interact with one another.
So people should look not at their differences or how they feel about another person, but inside themselves, look at other people with compassion and understanding.
That's right,
And then animals as well. And animals are our teachers. If we can do it with animals, we can do it with people.
That's right.
Let's head down and see some of the animals here, some of the residents.
Okay.
And you can tell me their stories.
All right. Hi, everybody.
Well, tell me their story.
They came from eastern Colorado. We got a phone call from a lady. She had left her husband. He had been abusive. And she gave us a call and told her that, oh dear, that her 6 sheep were still there, and that if we did not get them by Sunday, he was going to have them slaughtered.
Oh dear.
Just a lot of anger and resentment towards his wife. She had the police going out and checking on them on a daily basis because she was afraid that even though they were hers, that he was going to send them off for slaughter. She was able to go out there once a week with police supervision, but in between them they weren't getting food and water, and even the 3 years that she had them, her husband did not give her any money for their care, so they had had no vet care for the whole time that they were there. After we rescued them, they were scared to death of trailers. We found out that he had brought out a slaughter trailer, and he had a bunch of other sheep that he slaughtered in front of them and the goats.
Oh God.
So you can see how
They're
jittery.
still skittish.
And we've been working on trust, right, and human interaction as a positive thing. They probably will come back knowing that I have food. Sheep can recognize over what we know of over 100 individuals' faces.
I didn't know
So
that.
they recognize all of the people they see here on a regular basis, all the regular caregivers. Look at Shy. All right, this is Shy, everybody. He's not so shy anymore. And Marilyn, hi Marilyn. And Twix, her daughter.
Twix. I don't
The 2 babies, and Hershey. So Hershey, the gentleman with the horns, his horns were actually growing into his eyes. They have been trimmed away from his eyes. He has cataracts, and he had an abscess in his left eye.
Oh dear.
The cataracts may eventually, impair his vision, and we'll deal with that at that time. This guy had a bone infection. Can you see how much more swollen this is here?
Yes.
Their hooves had never been trimmed. And so it developed cracks, and then infection got into to where this bone is completely deformed. And they said that he will have arthritis for the rest of his life, but he's here and we'll be able to
Take care
treat
of
it
him.
and take care of him and give him medications or use the cold laser therapy on him. What's amazing here too, we have 2 moms in our group. They'll be able to forever have that companionship and have their child with them, and for the children to be with their moms for the rest of their lives.
That's one thing I really love about Luvin Arms, is that you do whatever is necessary to alleviate pain and suffering.
Yes.
And then also enhance their ability to communicate and to be friends and to live a happy life. It's not just, oh, I don't have arthritis anymore. It's, I'm part of a community and a family.
Yes. We will be able to integrate them, I'm hoping, next week with the rest of the sheep family, so we'll have one large sheep family.
They are so much like us.
They are.
That they have friends, They play. They tell jokes. I know. I used to live with sheep who told jokes.
They are comedians.
Yes. And they're wonderful to watch. And I can't imagine after having these interactions that someone could actually want to torture them and eat them. And I'm not putting people down about eating meat because I was a meat and potatoes gal.
Right.
I mean, meat was something, if you could afford it, in my upper middle class upbringing, that showed that you had money, that you weren't poor. So it was almost a status symbol.
Yeah.
Now,
Culture is hard to change.
I've gone through so many changes, and it took me a long time. I've only been plant-based for 6 years, and I'm 70 years old.
Yeah.
So people can change.
They can change.
And it feels so good. Nobody has to die when I eat.
No, and that is honestly, our mission is to inspire people to see them for who they are, to inspire them to change for them, for people themselves, and for the planet. I would like you to meet Kenai, the little chicken, Coda the duck,
Hello, Coda.
and Walter the turkey.
Hi, Walter. Now, you were telling me that the duck doesn't swim.
He doesn't like to get into the pool because Kenai, who's the leader of the two, doesn't like to get in. Wherever Kenai goes, Coda goes.
Okay.
The two of them were found in a box in a park outside of Denver.
Oh.
And they were covered in feces
Oh, God.
and corn. Somebody walked by and heard cheeping and opened the box. They were just fuzzy. They didn't have their little feathers like they do now.
So they were really young?
They're still very young. They just got their feathers. And they had like bald spots all over them and poop just covered all over them. Coda was not breathing well, so we had to take him up to CSU, the very best veterinary clinic for avian birds.
Great.
Coda had feces packed in his nares so tightly that they were able to remove most of it, but there was so much, and it was throughout the whole thing, that they couldn't even get to all of it. And so one of our strategies was to try to get him into the pond. And so the care team sat in the pond with Kenai, holding Kenai, so that Coda would get in and swim around and duck to try to help loosen that up
Yeah.
in there. And look at how he always turns his head.
He's
It's so
like
interesting.
this.
He's like cocking his head to the side.
What you doing?
Yeah, so curious, but you'll never find him or Kenai far apart. And one of our caregivers thought, you know what? I think Walter would get along with them.
And would like some friends.
Right? Because it's been a long time since Walter has had somebody in here. His partner died in 2020.
Oh, so it has been a long time for him
Yes.
to be alone.
So he has been alone, and he is this older gentleman who is very particular about his friends. And so we have tried, but Walter has said no to everybody since then. Now, in the beginning, he just kind of like stayed his distance. But last night, they were found lying next to each other.
Oh.
So,
I mean, that is just so much what animals are about.
right?
Yeah. And different and interspecies communication. I mean, these guys
All
don't
three
have
of
the
them.
same DNA.
Yeah. A turkey, a chicken, and a duck.
Yeah.
It's such a huge example to people, right?
Yeah, it's just
That we can all get along.
yeah. And we don't have to hurt anybody.
We can be friends and live in harmony. So
Yeah.
this
That's
makes
a
my
great
heart so
story.
happy.
Devoutly to be wished.
That's right.
Let's go see the cows.
Come here, baby.
Tito!
Tito! Come on. Come say hi.
We will have Tito over here. He's coming.
He's coming. Come on, big guy.
Oh, everybody's coming now. How long has Tito been here?
Tito just turned 5.
So he's been here since he was a baby?
Yes, 10 days old.
Oh, he
So
grew.
my baby grew.
And they're always curious.
They are like, what are you doing?
What are you doing now? They have such curiosity about the world around them. They're like children.
Yeah, they're always curious about everything. You want a chin rub? Oh, he wants her to get out of the way because he's jealous.
He's jealous. He wants
So
the
people are
attention.
like, they have all the emotions we do because Tito has
So
been
he
the
likes a
baby
good
for so
butt
long.
scratch?
He does. He loves a good butt scratch, and look at his head, what he does. Yeah, he doesn't want Sammy to share in his butt scratches. So,
Yes.
like, he's like, this attention is about me. He loves visitors and loves people.
He needs a personal attendant. You're the cow butler.
He's got me trained. He'll come say hello to me and then turn around and give me his butt so that I give him a good butt scratch.
Tell me his story. 10 days old.
So Tito was put on a truck in Texas. He comes from a dairy farm, and dairy boys are sent off to veal farms. And so he was heading from Texas to Colorado. When the truck driver got to where he was going, there were 3 that were near dead. They always put more on the truck, and transport usually kills several individuals. Tito, Gideon, and Murphy were almost dead.
So they're not really worth that much then.
To them, they're not, right? Their lives aren't. Gideon died that day. Murphy died a month after he got here. He was constantly on IV and treatment. Tito was the only one that had a bit of colostrum in him, which meant that he must have gotten
nursed
at
it
least
something.
a few minutes of his mother's milk. So that probably gave him better immunity.
So they're
Tito's-
just removed from their mothers.
They are just removed.
I've heard that the mother cows scream.
They scream for at least up to days, right? And that relationship and bond, they're constantly looking. There's so many stories. They're constantly looking for their babies. And the babies are sad. In the United States alone, it's estimated up to 7,000 a day die just from being taken from their moms.
And we have all this image of the pasture and the
Right.
happy cow.
Right.
And the,
So when they're taken, they're given this alternative milk. They want their mom,
Yeah.
right? They want their mom's milk, which was designed for them. And the cows need to be with each other. They need their mom. It's very traumatic for them. Tito, we showered him with love and lots of medical attention, and we are so grateful. He thinks he's a person too,
Yeah,
right?
that
Like he
seems about right.
loves being around people. But my absolute favorite thing is to snuggle with him. So when you sit down in the nook of his neck, he takes his head and he wraps it around you and gives you the biggest hug. And it is the most incredibly special thing I have ever experienced.
To be that, how grateful can you be to an animal who will forgive you
Yes.
for what has happened in the past?
Yeah, for all of the loss.
And almost every animal here has come from abandonment or neglect or
Yes.
actually cruelty, and very few of them don't rebound.
Right.
Most of them just come to care about people too.
Right.
Now that there are so many dairy alternatives, I just can't see drinking cow's milk anymore.
No.
There are cheeses and butters and milk, and I like oat milk because it tastes better to me.
Me
I don't
too.
want really something that tastes like cow's milk.
I don't either. But people who are transitioning, it's important to have products like that they can transition for. And to know that where their money is being spent is towards compassion and kindness. And it's not harming anyone, because we need to trace our dollars, right? We're responsible for where we spend our money.
Yes.
And if it goes towards pain and suffering, I think that most people would say they're animal lovers and would not condone the things that are happening today to these individuals.
They don't know.
They just
I
don't
didn't know. And I've worked with animals for 45 years, and I didn't know this.
Yeah.
And once
It's like waking up.
when you know better, do better.
Yeah.
That's a simple tenet of life. When you know better, do better.
And Kate, that's why I think it's so important for sanctuaries to exist, to have a place where people can come and visit them and see them for who they are and connect to them and see all their different personalities and to see their likes, dislikes, their loves, to watch them fall in love with each other.
I
is
love
amazing.
the duck, chicken, turkey.
Yeah.
It's just, different species living peacefully with each other and loving each other.
Right. I watched Samantha and
They're cows.
yes, Samantha's a cow and Lucky is a cow. And when Lucky first arrived here, I watched the two of them fall in love. We all did. And it was the most beautiful thing. And I had to think to myself, why have I never watched two individuals fall in love before? It's because they never have the chance. It's like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right?
Yeah, I gotta eat, I gotta breathe.
Right, and to watch two individuals fall in love. So our YouTube channel, The Love Stories of Love in Arms.
Okay, so it's the Love Stories of Love in Arms. And Luvin is spelled Luvin, arms, A-R-M-S.
So you can watch a lot of these beautiful stories unfold on our YouTube channel.
Oh, that's great. Hey guys, if you would like us to come back to Love in Arms and visit with the pigs and the horses and the goats, all of the animals here, please get in touch with yellowscene.com and tell them you'd like to see more. Thanks so much, Shartrina.
Thank you,
I had a great time.
I did too. Lily did too, didn't you, Lily?
Oh, Lily's.
Did you have a good time?
Yeah.
She purrs with contentment.
They make me want to lie down with them and just curl up.